Once upon a time there was a king who was extremely lazy. He neither thought about his kingdom nor did anything for its wear. His daily routine consisted of just three things: eating, sleeping, and resting. Due to his laziness, the people of his kingdom were unhappy. They longed for a ruler who would take care of them and lead the kingdom toward prosperity. However, the king remained oblivious to their complaints and continued with his easy life. As time passed, the ministers of the court also became frustrated. They had tried several times to make the king realize his responsibilities, but he refused to listen. His laziness led him to gain so much weight that he could barely move from his bed. Soon news of the king's sluggishness spread to neighboring kingdoms, and even enemy rulers started mocking him. This humiliation finally hit the king hard one day while looking at himself in the mirror. He felt ashamed of what he had become. He realized that if he continued like this, his kingdom would fall apart. He needed to change to become active and fit again. Determined to find a solution, he made an announcement throughout the kingdom. Whoever helps me regain my fitness and strength will receive a grand reward hearing. The kingdom's best physicians and healers rushed to the palace. They prepared various herbal medicines and tonics for the king, promising that they would help him lose weight. However, despite consuming them, his condition worsened. His weight continued to increase instead of decreasing. One day, an old sage arrived in the kingdom. He heard about the king's predicament and approached the palace guards. "I have a special remedy," he said confidently, "but the king must come to me himself. I do not visit royal courts, and this remedy will only work if I give it to him personally." When the gods conveyed the sage his message to the king, he was overjoyed at last. Someone had a solution, but when he learned that he had to go to the sage himself, he was enraged. "What nonsense is this?" he fumed. "I can't even get out of bed. How does he expect me to walk to him?" His ministers, however, persuaded him. "Your Majesty, this might be your last chance at least try," they pleaded. Realizing he had no other option, the king reluctantly forced himself to sit up with the help of his soldiers. He took a few small steps. Though it was extremely difficult, he persisted and slowly made his way to the sage's humble hut. Upon reaching there, the king was told that the sage was away and that he would have to return the next day to receive the remedy. The king was furious, but he had no choice. The next day, struggling once again, he walked all the way to the sage's hut. This continued for several days, and each time the sage made an excuse, asking him to return the next day unknowingly. The king was walking more and more each day. After a month, the sage finally handed the king a cup of simple water. He chanted some prayers over it and gave it to him, saying, "Drink this and you will be cured." The king drank the water eagerly, then asked, "What is this miraculous remedy called? How is it prepared? My royal physicians must learn how to make it." The sage smiled and said, "Your Majesty, this is no special